Hi everybody, Joe here from SHUTTERSPEAK Photography. Very nice to see your smiling faces again here on YouTube. So today we're going to take a look at the Laowa 100mm f2.8 CA Dreamer macro 2x lens. This lens comes in Nikon Pentax, Sony and Canon mounts. Also comes for Nikon F and Nikon Z. And we're going to take some sample images on a Nikon Z7 with the Z mount version of this lens. In terms of unboxing, not much in the box, but again, it's a very affordable lens. It's $449 retail. It is a fully manual lens, full frame, but not much in the box. In terms of in the box, really just this little manual, and the lens comes in a plastic bag, and here is the lens. Okay, build quality is really fantastic on it, and of course it does come with a lens hood as well, lens cap and lens mount cap as well. So let's take a little bit more of an in-depth look at this lens, but before we do, I'd just like to ask you, if anything in this video helps you out, please help me out by hitting the subscribe button and ring the bell so that you get notified of future updates to this channel. I appreciate that, and I'm going to thank you in advance for doing that. That can help me out, and best of all, it's free, right? So, all right, let's take a look at this lens. So again, this is a fully manual macro lens. It is full frame, and again, build quality, you can tell this is really solid, all metal. In terms of focus, the focus ring has just the right amount of resistance to it so that you can really fine-tune your focusing, and I really like that. It did come in the box with a 67mm UV 0 lens filter attached to it. Okay. And that screws right off. And honestly, I didn't even know it came with it. There was no mention of it, except for the fact that it was a little bit loose. And that's honestly how I noticed it. But it's a nice touch that they're giving you a Laowa UV0 to protect the lens. Okay. In terms of what you get on the lens, you're going to have a focal ring here with a magnification chart and aperture control here. Okay. In terms of specs for this lens, as I mentioned, it is full frame. Focus range is from infinity to 2x. Nikon mount, Pentax, Nikon F and Z mount, Pentax mount. You also have a Canon and Sony E mount version of this lens. With the Nikon and Pentax version, it's a 7-blade aperture system. The Canon and the Sony E mount have a 13-blade aperture system. The lens is comprised of 12 elements in 10 groups with 2 pieces of ED glass. The Canon version has auto aperture, but that's the only version that has that. So aperture can be controlled on the camera with the Canon version. In terms of macro, its minimum focusing distance is 24.7 centimeters, and its minimum working distance is 13 centimeters. The field of view is 24.4 degrees. It's, again, like I mentioned, 100mm. Filter is 67 millimeters, and it weighs in at 638 grams, so it is fairly light as well. So what we want to do here is we want to make a comparison shot using the Laowa 100mm lens, and then we're going to compare it against using some extension tubes that I've done reviews on in previous videos, and I'll leave a link up for that. And we're going to use the Nikon 70-200 f2.8 Z mount lens. That's the Laowa on the camera body. That's what that looks like. And then we'll bring them into Lightroom, and we'll do a little bit of comparison of how this setup looks in the Laowa versus with an extension tube. Okay, so we now have our setup, and essentially all you need to do is really just pull focus. And like I said, the focus ring is nice and tight, so you can really narrow down. And I am using focus peaking. So you see those yellow lines. The yellow lines represent what's going to be in focus in this picture and not in focus. I'm using an exposure delay of 2 seconds just to eliminate any shake. And once we hit that, there we go. And let's take a look at the image. And we can see it's nice and sharp. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's really incredible. And the background is absolutely obliterated. You can see the stormtroopers in the back, but beyond that, I mean, it's just absolutely unrecognizable. But it is a beautiful blur of bokeh back there. And can we see Luke and the gang? Let's take a look. Just barely make out Luke, C-3PO, and R2-D2. We're hanging out in the back, watching this lightsaber battle. The effect lights, you can see the blue cast on Obi-Wan's face, and then if we look at the other side, we should see a little bit of a red glow from the saber, which is being produced by that effect light on Darth Vader's face. And I will do a review of those effect lights down the road. And again, we're using focus peaking. I do have a video on how to do focus peaking if you are unfamiliar with that. Okay, we can set different colors for the peaking highlights. Okay, in this case, I'm using yellow. Using yellow simply because it stands out on these characters very well. And you can see how we could pull focus to the background or then all the way to the back if we wanted to. And really, just right there is just absolutely perfect. Again, we'll snap one more. Okay, so we are here in Lightroom, so let's take a look at the two photos, compare them side by side. On the left, we have the photo taken with the Laowa 100mm macro lens. On the right, we have the Nikon Z 70-200 f2.8 lens set at 100mm. ISO is the same. Little bit of a difference in the exposure time, but with the extension tube on, there's going to be a variance, but as close as we can get. And the real point of this is to compare sharpness. So we know by putting the extension tube on, we're going to lose a little bit of light, and that's just the way it goes. But really, is the Laowa sharper? So let's take a look at our character here, and right off the bat, I can tell you just by zooming in, the Laowa is, as expected, absolutely sharper. You can see the sharpness of the edge here, of the mask and the eye, the edge of the helmet. All of this is softer here. Just no question about it. So Laowa is definitely sharper. I do like, the image quality overall. I mean, everything looks great. The background is nice and soft. We got some nice colors in the bokeh back there. The troopers are still, you can still make them out and know that they're stormtroopers, and you kind of can here on this one as well. But just overall, I just like the look of this one a lot better. And it's kind of, like I said, it's like we would have expected, but the real question is just how big of a difference are we really looking at? Is it worth spending $449, or is it worth using the extension tubes? Well, I can tell you that, again, in terms of sharpness, this is the Laowa lens is absolutely sharper. No question about it. Is it significantly sharper? I don't think it's significantly sharper, but this is a little bit soft. Is it usable? Yeah, it's still fine, but this is sharp. No question. There's no sharpening added here. This is straight out of camera. And once we started applying sharpening and things like that, this image on the left is just going to get better and better. As will the image on the right, but it's not going to ever be what this image on the left side is capable of being in terms of sharpness. And this is just a simple setup with some Legos. The versatility that you're going to get with this lens is going to be significant. Let's look at a few other images. So, okay, so here is a shot of a bill, and you can see the focal plane was somewhere right around this area, and you can see the sharpness and the quality of the lines and the way you can really just zoom in and magnify with a lens like this. Really quite impressive. And then again, just another shot with some of the characters with the reflections. And again, you can see the sharpness in here. And one thing you have to remember when you're dealing with macro is dust. You know, you can't even really perceive this dust with the LUMINAR naked eye. I mean, you really have to look. Maybe you might be able to notice it, but when you're shooting with the macro lens, it's absolutely noticeable. So pro tip here is definitely blow everything off with a duster if you're doing any kind of actual production or paid work, or even if it's your own personal work. Blow everything off first. I should have done that. I didn't, and I can see my own mistake here in this image, so I want to point it out to you so you don't make that same mistake. Okay, so and just a little bit of fun, I'll show you one of the other images that I did process and added a little bit of contrast and sharpening and things like that. Okay, so again, here's a more finished image. Again, you can see a little bit of dust there, unfortunately. Again, my bad. I should have done that, but again, this is not something I'm getting paid for. It's just a YouTube video to help you guys learn, and so we are learning from my mistakes. You can see the effect lights, how the blue light is cast, and that would be off of Obi-Wan's blue saber, and the red light being cast off Darth Vader's red saber there, and that's from those effect lights that we added up in front. I'll leave you a link in the description so you know what those lights are, and down the road I'll do a video on those lights as well, so you can really get a feel for what they are and how they work. But they really add a nice effect into you know, different things that you can do with them. And so that's what that looked like. And I want to show you some images off the Venus Optics website. They're the makers of this lens, so you can see some of the things that are capable with this lens that have been done by other people who had the opportunity to shoot with it. Okay, so here's some images off the website for this lens, and you can see just how incredible this is. A soap bubble, you know, of an image that you can get in the right circumstances, and you know, given you have the opportunity to do these things. It's winter here, so going out and shooting bugs for me is not exactly an option, but again, you can really see how versatile and how incredible this lens can be given the opportunity. Again, great portrait lens as well. 100mm is a fantastic portrait lens length. However, I wouldn't be shooting kids with this. It's a fully manual focus lens, and it would just any subject that's going to be moving around a lot is going to be very difficult. You definitely want to use focus peaking with this lens as well. If you do that, it's pretty easy to use. And again, that the way the focal ring turns, it's stiff enough that you really can very, very accurately fine tune it, which I really liked about the lens. And there's no creep in that focus at all. Once you nail down the focus, it's pretty solid. All right, so there you have it, folks. I hope you found this video helpful. If anything in this video helps you out, please help me out by hitting that subscribe button and ring the bell so you get notified of future updates. Also, feel free to comment if you have any questions about this lens. I do try and answer almost all of the comments on this channel to the best of my ability. So, just in conclusion, a couple of things that I really like about this lens. First off, price. Can't beat the price. I love the focus ring. It really just feels just right when you're using the lens, and it really enables you, especially using focus peaking, to get perfect focus. So I really like that. Build quality is excellent. It's solid, and you can feel that in your hand that this is a solid lens. The image quality is really, really special with this, and that's something that I love about this lens. And of course, the focusing distance and that 2x magnification, you can't beat that. Things that I thought could be a little bit better. I thought the aperture ring was a little bit easy to bump, especially when mounting or dismounting the lens. And if you happen to just grab the wrong area, you can very easily kind of move both with your palm if you're not careful. So that is something, but that's very minor. I think just with a little bit of experience with the lens, you'll avoid that. I mean, I think I did it a couple of times accidentally, but now that I'm aware of it, I doubt that it'll happen again. The only other thing that I think would be better is you got to remember, fully manual lens, so you have no control over shutter speed. you're shooting this lens in manual, and essentially what the camera on the Nikon Z system is doing is you're setting the ISO, and the ISO system is setting the shutter speed based on what you need to get a proper exposure. So you really have very little control over shutter speed other than by changing the ISO. So that's one thing, but again, that's also minor. You're always going to get the proper exposure, you know, just by dialing your settings on the back of the camera. But it would be nice to have control of the shutter speed, but that's just something that's not possible. So anyway, there you have it, folks. I hope you found this video helpful, and again, I appreciate you taking the time out to watch this, and as always, thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.